Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. So welcome to Bookmarked Chapter 2. Today we're going to be discussing basically all things BookTube related. BookTube 101. Any questions that you guys have about BookTube, any advice you want, anything like that, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, of course, as usual, we're going to introduce ourselves. I am Hannah. You are on my channel.
Wow. I'm Zoe from ReadbyZoe.
I'm Hailey from Hailey and Bookland.
And we have
So-
new microphones, so hopefully
We
it
do.
sounds good.
They have microphones. Mine is still like my headphone. So if you guys have any questions that you want to ask us about anything BookTube related, like how to start a channel and anything like that, you can go ahead and leave any of those in the chat below, or you can tweet us on Twitter with the hashtag bookmarked. It'll be easiest. Oh, I'm hearing myself. Sorry.
Oh, are you? I was like, by a ghost.
What's happening? As I was saying, if you want to tweet us, it'll be easier for us to see the tweets and answer your questions there. But either way works. So you guys can go ahead and do that if you have any questions. In the meantime, we're going to go over the books that we are currently reading. So Hailey, do you want to start us?
Sure. So I'm currently reading A Map of Days by Ransom, which is the next book in the Miss Peregrine series. And I am 60 pages into it. So I don't really have thoughts so far. I need more time.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, I'm reading two books because I'm fancy. Also, I'm indecisive. And I am really close to the ending of both of them. So I have many thoughts. I'm reading The Diviners by Libba Bray, which I am liking far more than I was expecting. It's been, like, for so long, for years and years. Back when I had the original hardcover, which was so pretty, and then they downgraded to whatever this paperback version is. Whatever, I'm not bitter. But anyway, I'm also reading Coraline by Neil Gaiman, my first Neil Gaiman. I'm really liking it. The movie freaked me out as a kid, and I mean, I'm still scared. Okay.
So many Halloween reads. I love it.
Spooky.
I am currently rereading Turtles All the Way Down. I started rereading or re-listening to the audiobook today because I have no chill and I love that book so much. So I'm also rereading Vicious, and then I'm going to start reading Vengeful. So I'm also in the middle of multiple things as usual.
I love rereading books. That's it's so good. It's such a great feeling. It's like you're being hugged by like an old aunt or something. Aunt? I never say aunt. Aunt. It's aunt.
You say aunt?
So it's aunt. It's not aunt.
It's aunt.
I say both interchangeably.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Is that an American thing? I've never heard anyone say aunt. America. So weird.
Canada. More like Canada.
Excuse me.
Leave in the chat below. Which one?
Which aunt or aunt?
Oh my god.
Okay, so we
see,
can go through questions now.
Yes.
No one is saying aunt. Actually, there's a couple of people who said they say both, but most people are saying aunt. Thank you all. I appreciate your support in this matter.
On my side.
No.
Everyone else, how dare you? Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go to questions.
Oh.
Okay.
Right.
Do you want to start with a Twitter question?
Sure.
Okay.
Do we have a Twitter question?
We have one from Khalifa_Roe, who asks, what are the pros and cons of booktubing? I think that's a good place to start.
That is a good place. Very general.
Yes. Let's start with cons.
Oh, so we're starting negative.
And then we'll get happy at the end.
So cons, definitely the pressure that's associated with reading, which is for sure something that we've talked about before. There's a lot of pressure to be reading a lot and to be reading things that are outside of your comfort zone, which I totally think is important. But at the same time, I want to read what I'm enjoying. So I feel like there is definitely quite a bit of pressure to be reading outside of what you normally would, and to be reading a lot and to be reading what's popular, which is not
rereading books.
Yeah.
I feel like rereading books, you always have to be reading the newest releases and not going back and rereading something.
Yeah.
So like rereading like Turtles All the Way Down, like that's not gonna really go on your Goodreads reading challenge. It will, because it'll say you read it, but also it's people want to see you reading new books, which is great because you're consuming new content and you will have new opinions about new things. But also sometimes you have to go back to your happy place just for your mental health and well-being.
Yeah, I think ultimately, in a lot of ways, your reading becomes no longer just about you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that I think I struggle with the most. Like, I'm okay with like some of the pressure of having to read newer releases and stuff. Like it's okay for me. It's not that bad because it kind of motivates me to like try new things. But I feel like sometimes I just feel like my reading isn't just about me. Like it's about other people's opinions about what I'm reading as well. And that can get frustrating at times. So I think that's definitely a big con for me. Also, I think a con, this is just a general con of making YouTube videos in general, but sometimes you just get like tired and burnt out, and like that isn't what YouTube likes. Like YouTube likes you to be consistently making content and
And
consistently
long
uploading.
videos too.
Yes, exactly. And like sometimes I just don't want to like talk about books for a while. Sometimes I don't feel like reading for a while. And so like you can't not do that at times. Like obviously you can do whatever you want, but like in order to build and like maintain a channel, you have to be at least somewhat consistent, and I'm not.
You're talking to me.
Yes.
I am the queen of taking mental health breaks, and YouTube does not like that. I like it.
I like
because
it too.
I haven't had like a mental breakdown. So that's good.
But YouTube doesn't like it. Yeah. And then pros. What do you think are the pros?
Oh, I forgot about that part of the question.
We're just gonna
talk on the negative.
That's what this entire episode is about. Definitely the friends that you make.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't have many reader friends growing up. I had friends to talk about like the big series like Harry Potter and Twilight and the Hunger Games with, but I was reading so much, like so many other books, random books, and then I couldn't talk to people about them. I didn't really have someone in my life who I would recommend a book to, and then they would read it, and then we could talk about it together. They just wanted to read the popular things. But here, I can just be like, Hailey, you want to buddy read this book? And then you'll be like, yeah,
No,
let's
I
do it.
don't. No.
I mean, okay, fine. Hannah, my nicer friend, will you read this book with me? And that's what's great. It's readers coming together. It's a giant internet book club, and you really get to connect with people from all over the world who love your hobby, because Hailey's from Canada, Hannah's from California and is now in Colorado. I'm in Florida. I mean, that's not too far on the map, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we can't just get in our car and
it'd be a long drive.
It would be. It'd be fun.
It would be. Road trip?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's meet in like Kansas. Is that the middle point?
I have no clue.
But also when I went to London this summer, and I had so many instant friends because I knew about them on BookTube. I'd watched their videos. I went to London and they were like, you want to meet up? And then we met up and we were friends. That was so nice. So
I think that one of the pros for me is the amount of opportunities that I've had because of my channel. Like when I started making videos, I never really expected anything to come of it. It was just something that I wanted to do for fun. I had a lot of free time and I was like, well, I'll talk about books. And it took off so much so that I ended up getting opportunities that I had never expected. And I've been to places that I never would have been able to go. And it's been really amazing in that way. And definitely making friends has been a huge pro as well. Except in the case of Zoe, it's kind of a con, but it's fine. We put up with those things.
I'm always here for you, even when you don't want me to be there for you.
Beautiful. I think another pro is it's a double-edged sword, because this is something I talked about with the con too, but being able to know about all the new releases, being able to know about a bunch of books that I never would have heard of before, it's awesome, and it really is a double-edged sword. So
No, I completely agree. Like my number one pro is making friends, because it's the best thing that's come out of BookTube for me. But I also totally agree about like finding out about new books. Like I will literally never run out of books to read at this point in my life, because I find out about so many new books all the time, and that's only because of BookTube. But I also agree, like the opportunities I've gotten are things I would have never imagined myself ever doing had I not made my channel in the first place. So I don't know, like you just never know what kind of like doors this will open for you. In literally ways you could never possibly imagine. So,
but also, counterpoint to that, don't come into BookTube expecting like money.
Yes.
Or like great,
you will
like
be sorely disappointed.
It's something definitely. It's a labor of love. Do it because you love it. Don't do it because you're expecting to be like in a Netflix original. Hailey, yeah,
hey,
back is gonna be on Netflix.
Possibly. Watch out, Dumpling, whenever it comes out. I don't know when it's coming out.
Hailey's butt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hilarious.
But also, yeah, so many amazing book recommendations. That's why my Goodreads average rating is so high, because almost every single book that I read because it was recommended to me on BookTube, I end up loving. So that's also why it's hard to have a favorite book of like 2018 or whatever. Those are so hard because I love so many books that I read. So
there's a question here from Tom on Twitter, and he's asking, how did you guys think your channels would go / be received when you uploaded your first videos? I don't know about you guys, but I didn't expect anything to come from it. I was just like, fun times talking to myself about books, what I usually do. Like, I would do that whole like fake upload, not even fake upload, but like fake film a YouTube video. Did you not do that?
No, I'm not.
I would literally talk to myself. I have no friends.
No, I did do that in the shower when I was just like,
so this book.
I was preparing myself to like film a video. I'd be like trying to talk out what I was going to say, just to give myself a little pep talk.
I never expected the community, I guess. I didn't expect to be a part of it. I expected it to be just a singular me thing. So that was the biggest surprise for me coming into it.
Yeah, for me too. Like, I started this because I was at a point where like all my friends had left for college and I was like alone, and I was like, who am I supposed to just rant to books about now? My family is sick and tired of me. Like, I have to talk to somebody.
Did they send you to your room and then you picked up a camera?
Literally, that's basically what happened.
Stop being so annoying.
That's honestly what happened. So yeah, I thought like maybe 5 people would watch these videos and like talk to me, and like maybe I'd make one friend out of this who liked the same books I liked, and that was it. I didn't expect to like actually have people watching my content like on like a consistent level. And I didn't expect any of this. I just wanted to talk about books, like, period. That's it.
Yeah, I had Hailey also did. We both had beauty channels before we had BookTube channels, and I actually had I had a beauty collab channel before that. So I started with 2 of my friends. Yes. Whoa. And then I had my own beauty channel. Both of those, no one watched at all. I watched them a lot. I would like rewatch my videos, try to like up the view count. Wow, really trying to hack that algorithm. No one watched it, and I didn't make any friends from that. And I got a lot of dislikes on that. And the one video I did that was, I think it was a book review for The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks, and I also did a book haul. Those got the highest views on my channel, and they were also the videos that I had the most fun making. So I just started making book videos. So it was all I had a lot of rejection, before I made any friends and before I found something that I actually enjoyed doing. So it's been kind of a longer path for me, but I was expecting that no one would watch it and I'd get a ton of dislikes again, which
there's always dislikes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Always.
So it helped me develop that thick skin that I do not have. Okay.
This isn't a specific question from anyone, but I've been seeing a lot, both on Twitter and in the chat, of people asking about growing a channel. Like, when we saw our channel start to grow, and like, how do you grow your channel in the first place? Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I did the Christmas song book tag, and I tagged Jesse the reader in it, and he did it. So thanks, Jesse. It was Jesse, and quite a few other bigger booktubers had done it, and that really helped me. So I'd say create tag videos, comment on other people's videos, interact. I find it's really hard to grow your channel now. I think that the algorithm all around BookTube has been a struggle. So for smaller booktubers, I can't even imagine how it would be. But ultimately, I would say engaging in the community. And I found that my channel really started to grow when I became consistent with my uploads. And that was just a personal thing. I'm not trying to, I feel like that seems like I'm personally attacking both of you.
More so me, no, but like I very much admire the fact that you post such.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I like
It's a
watching
lot.
videos all the time because I'm like, oh, Hailey's gonna post today. Thank goodness.
You upload enough for like the 3 of us, so it's
True,
fine.
so you're making up
3
for
times
it.
a week, 1 for each of us. Thank you for doing your part for
You're
the
so
community.
welcome. But honestly, I think consistency is a pretty important thing. If you do want to see that growth, then try and be consistent. So then you can say, like, I upload on these specific days, because then people can count on that. That's why we do Bookmarked every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because every Tuesday, that's what you're going to get, is you're going to come and we're going to be having a conversation about something bookish. It's like your favorite TV shows. They're on at the same time all the time. It's just something where people can count on that, I guess. So when people see that you're reliable, then people will be more prone to subscribing.
We are now your favorite TV show.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Bookmarked, the new
Clearly.
favorite TV show.
But I think one of my most popular videos is actually a sketch video that I made that was how to annoy a reader. And that was one that I really enjoyed making because I didn't think anyone was going to watch it, but I just wanted to rant. So I made like a creative video, and it was just something that I did on a whim. I did it because I wanted to. It was creative. I hadn't seen that, no one else that I'd seen had done a video like that. So definitely you can start with more stable videos to get more comfortable in front of the camera, and those do get a lot of views. Like book hauls do get a lot of views, but I think if you really want to distinguish your channel and have maybe more engagement or maybe more subscribers, try to do something out of the box, because that's what will make your channel special. And I'm going to bring up Books and Lala because I think
Always.
she does both like the consistency, and she has creative content. So that's also why she's one of my favorite channels. But you know that when she posts a video that you're going to get it regularly and it's going to be something different. So those 2 things.
Yeah, I mean, I second all of that. Like, consistency is absolutely key. Like, that's the biggest thing on growing your channel. Also, engaging in the community is super, super important, especially for our community that's like a lot smaller than other YouTube communities. Commenting on people's videos, like tweeting at people, like replying to their Instagram photos, like stuff like that. That's definitely helpful. For me personally, I felt like my channel was a combination of like, I honestly don't know why my channel grew, if I'm being honest, but like, I think it's a combination
You're adorable.
Honestly.
Thank you. But I don't think that's why. But I think it was a combination of, I tried to do videos that were, again, like things that I really cared about, like things that I wanted to talk about, like besides just the staple videos. I definitely just did staple videos towards the beginning, but then I started doing things like talking more about like unpopular opinions, talking more about like, or doing more like, not negative reviews, but just like critical reviews of books and like, and things like that. Like before it was, I'm not trying to say like I'm a hipster, I started this trend. I did not. I'm just saying before it became like a bigger thing in BookTube, or around the time it started to become kind of like a thing on BookTube, was when I started making more like critical reviews and doing like negative like opinions on books and stuff like that. So like there's no way I can sit here and say that like that my popular books I didn't like video didn't help me. That video has, I think, 700,000 views almost.
Oh,
like it's a lot. I know.
Oh my gosh, queen of BookTube.
Killing it.
No, I know.
You introduced so many people to BookTube through that video.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people comment that on that video. But so like there's no lying about the fact that making like popular content is going to grow your channel, because it absolutely will. I didn't make that video because I wanted to grow my channel. I made it because I really wanted to talk about my opinions on these books, because I just needed to rant, because I am like that. But it's gonna help your channel. Like I can't pretend like it won't. So,
a lot of it is honestly chance, though.
Yeah.
You get lucky. Like there's no secret code to unlock like all this viewership. It's just, it happens for some people and it doesn't happen for others, which is really unfortunate. But it's just kind of, especially with the nature of the YouTube algorithm right now, it's honestly luck. Like it really is. There's not that much that you can do to try and beat that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's also part of why Hannah and I had a long conversation about that. That's part of why I wanted to start this live show series. was because, well, when we get more used to the format of this, we really want to bring on guests, specifically creators who have a smaller platform, so that we can, one, get viewpoints from a bigger variety of people, but also to maybe help give that push, try to help whatever way we can, because I feel like a lot of this is luck. So it's not that, larger platforms are better than smaller platforms or anything like that. It's mostly just luck. And so I want to help extend that luck. Rub a little bit of that luck onto somebody else.
No, when we were talking about that, I remember us talking about how like we feel like the growth of the community as a whole has just kind of like plateaued a bit. And we hate that. Like we want every channel like to be able to grow consistently and grow well. Like, because I know like around the time I started, my channel was growing really well. Like it was a time where BookTube was doing really well, like as a community. And we want that back. Like we want the whole community to be growing. Like I don't want people to start their BookTube channels and feel discouraged because they can't get more than 10, 100 subscribers, Like not that like those numbers matter, but like it does matter if you want people to hear what you're talking about. And so like, yeah. So yeah, that's why we wanted to start like this whole thing. Yeah.
And also there's such a big divide between like the bigger booktubers and everybody else. So there's it's such like a weird tiered system, and I don't like that. I think it should be more of a level playing field. But anyway, that's beside the point. I found a question on Twitter from Giovanna from Joe's Bookland, who asked Hannah how to navigate BookTube as a person of color.
It's wild, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I've mentioned this in a video before, but like, I don't want to stand here and like speak on behalf of all people of color on BookTube, because I'm not gonna do that. Like, I don't know what your experience is. I can only tell you mine. And I understand, like, I'm very aware of my own privileges as a person of color, like as well. So I can't speak on everyone's experiences, and I'm not going to try to do that. But it's very weird knowing that you are one of very few people, especially as like someone who is one of the more like popular or bigger creators in the BookTube community, that there are like, I think I once like counted, there are like 2 people of color who have more than 100,000 subscribers, and I'm one of them. And like, it's just like really, really odd to be like that person, because so many people come to me for like advice on this type of stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, because like, I don't even know what I'm doing sometimes. Like, I don't know how to deal with like the racist hate comments I get, like, and like other stuff that you have to deal with as a person of color on BookTube. But honestly, all I can say is that like, create content, like make your content, do what you're doing. Your voice is so needed and it's so important. Honestly. And like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for other creators of color who were building their platforms. And like, I hope that like my channel can inspire you in some sort of way. Like, I hope that's something you can get out of my channel. I would love for that to be true. But like, I don't know. It's very weird and it's very confusing, and it is something I struggle with. But it's possible. Like, it's possible and it's important. And like, we need you and we want you here. So just remember that.
Please create content.
Do you think there's a way that we can make our community more open or accessible to people of color?
Yeah.
Is there
do I think that?
Yeah, do you think?
I think yes. But yes, I do.
How so? I mean, I'm sure you don't have like an answer right now, but just any.
Yeah, I don't think there is like a be all end all answer. Yeah. But I think that uplifting like booktubers of color, promoting their channels, things like that, like these are things that, I mean, I need to do more of myself too. Like I'm guilty of not doing it enough as well. But it's something that I think is just like a bare minimum thing that we can do. Like, look at your subscription box.
Yeah.
Are you watching enough booktubers of color? Are you only watching like white booktubers? And I don't know, that's just like a very small basic thing we can do. But like as a whole, I think the community just needs to be more conscious and like aware of who they're watching. And I don't know. It's like, it's a confusing thing to navigate.
I think it comes down to being mindful and like you said, definitely looking at your subscription box and seeing who's in there. Because if it looks like a jar of mayonnaise, as Whitney says, then you need to fix it. it's like that's a problem because you're getting one viewpoint to the story, and that's not okay, especially when you're talking about a book like The Hate You Give. You know, that's something that my opinion of it isn't like, it's not that my opinion's invalid, but like I would much rather see someone who is a person of color who really identifies with that story talk about that, and I would want to hear their perspective as well.
As our books become more diverse, so should the reviewers of those books.
Definitely.
So that's again something that I really want our live show to help, is that a lot of the guests that we want to have on here will be smaller booktubers, especially people of color. So if you have any recommendations, if you are one, you want to be on the show, you know, let us know. But definitely, if there's any way that we can help, please let us know, because that's something that I definitely want to help with. So anyway, if you have any more questions, let us know. A lot of people were asking about starting BookTube on a budget, which is a video topic that we want to talk about later. We want to have an entire episode about BookTube on a budget, but just, you know, how to start your BookTube channel if you don't want to invest a lot of money, which I definitely do not think you should do if you're just thinking about starting a BookTube channel. Don't go out and buy a DSLR.
I'm literally just thinking what I said last time.
What did you say?
In chapter 1, how I confessed that I spent all of my student loans on my book collection. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Basically, moral of the story is don't be Hailey.
Oh my God. Don't do it.
I started using Windows Movie Maker, which is really high class. And then I switched to iMovie when I got a Mac. And both are, I mean, I definitely like iMovie way more than Windows Movie Maker, but it can be done. You don't have to spend money on an editing software. And I think there are some less reputable places to get editing software, if you catch my drift. But if you have a smartphone, a lot of them have great microphones and great cameras, so you can do that. I know there are several booktubers that I follow who use iPhones as their camera, and I couldn't even tell.
I've done it.
I started off on my iPhone.
You did?
Yeah.
I can't even tell.
I started with my iPhone. Like, you can start with anything. Honestly, you don't have to shell out big money for that. Like, you can start with literally anything and let your personality shine through, because if your personality is something that people are interested in and something that people want to watch, it doesn't matter if you're filming on an iPhone, if you're filming on a like $1,000 DSLR, whatever you're filming on, people will still want to come back. I think my biggest tip for BookTube on a budget, though, is honestly, like, all jokes aside about me spending my student loan, don't buy every single book that you see booktubers talking about. Don't feel like you have to read all of these books, because you will waste so much money. Like, don't just buy the book because you see someone talking about it. Yeah, like, really look into it. Like, don't feel bad and be like, I can't afford all of these books. Like, that's totally fine. You don't need to have a massive book collection. Obviously, it's really nice, but that's something that you can build over time. Don't feel like you have to spend all of your money on all of these books right away, because you will 100% regret it. You will be paying back that student loan for so long.
I mean, absolutely.
Lighting.
Yeah, like, so I was lucky in that my sister had a camera because she liked photography. So it wasn't a DSLR. It was just like, it was a nice camera, but like not a great camera. So I started on that. So I was lucky because she just had one. So I was just using her camera. But like, I have vlogged on my iPhone a million times, and it's perfectly fine. But yeah, like Zoe, you were saying, like, lighting is probably the most important thing.
Window or a lamp.
Yes, a window or a lamp. And usually I would recommend filming during the day because natural lighting is best. But like, in terms of like the physical things you require to film, the most important thing I would say is your lighting, if you want it to like look nice. Apart from that, you can literally use anything to record. I have used iMovie on my 2013 Mac this entire time, and I still haven't upgraded to anything else because I'm cheap and I don't want to buy it.
Is there iMovie for your phone? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so you can just do it on your phone too. It'll probably take up space, but it's okay.
But you can upload and you can do all of it on your phone.
Everything on your phone. There you go. What a world. But But yeah, so like in terms of like the physical things, like do not, like literally don't spend your money on a camera. You don't need it to begin with. You don't even need it later on. Like unless it's something that matters to you, you don't need it. And like Hailey said, don't buy all the books. I wasted so much of my money buying so many books that I didn't like. And now I have just like had to like donate because I don't like them because I thought I would like them and I got caught up in the hype of BookTube.
That's why so many people are doing unhauls, because
Yes.
a lot of those are books that we've had since we started our BookTube channel. And there was a term for it. Someone made a video that was all about like the BookTube buying like splurge thing when you first discover. I think it was like Joel Books or something like that, like way back in the day. Yeah, you might not even know who I'm talking about. But that's why so many people do unhauls, because we realize, oh, that was a dumb idea.
Yeah. I think more to that, getting into the aspects of being afraid of starting your channel, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And if you're intimidated by like the technical aspects of it, like we said, you can use your phone or anything, but there's also a lot of tutorials out there. Like YouTube is a great resource for stuff like that. So look up tutorials. If you are going to buy a camera, do your research on it. It's definitely not required, but work with what you have, find tutorials that can help you out, and make sure that you're well educated on everything that you're going to be doing. I think that doing that research will help elevate your content because you'll see what other people are doing. I'm sure there are millions of tutorials out there on filming a YouTube video with your iPhone and like in small spaces and stuff like that. You will be totally fine. So don't be intimidated by those technical aspects. There's a ton of tutorials out there on video editing for whatever software you're using. Just kind of dive in and see if you like it.
Okay, moving on to Brianna 4 asked, what kind of behind the scenes stuff do you use? So what editing software and camera and lighting? So us who have invested money in it, what do you all use?
I literally just invested a bunch of money in
That's
this,
why.
which you guys know. So I just upgraded to the Canon T7i, and I have that with the, what is it? 15 to 135 millimeter lens, but I film with the 24 millimeter lens, and it's great. I love it because it doesn't make any noise while it's autofocusing or anything. So that's awesome. I have umbrella lights that I use for my setup and a ring light that I use. The umbrella lights are thanks to Zoe because I was having a ton of problems with like shadows and stuff from my overhead light. So that really fixed it. All of the light. Is that what you have on right now?
Yeah.
Amazing. And as far as editing software goes, I use Final Cut Pro.
Ooh, you're fancy. Way fancier than I am.
It's because my sister works at Apple, so or else I wouldn't spend that much money on it.
So I'm not home, obviously. So I don't have like I have my camera and stuff, but I don't have like my regular setup. So I've had to like make a makeshift setup here. But for my camera, I use the Canon Rebel T6i with I don't remember the number of my lens. I'm pretty sure it's the same one you use, Hailey, because mine does not make noise when it autofocuses either. And I have this mic. One sec, it's right here. This Rode mic. I got the video. Yeah, I got the video creator kit when I upgraded my camera, so it just came with the microphone too. And then I have like softbox lights, but I hate them, so I don't use them. I just use natural lighting when I'm at home, and then while I'm here, I'm in this like little room in the basement, and I think I showed it in one of my vlogs, but it's basically just like a tiny room. There are no windows or anything, and there's just a lamp in here, and that's all I use to film. And
and it's white wall, so it bounces off of it.
Yeah, so it's nice. And then for editing, I just use iMovie, which is free on my computer. So
I use iMovie as well. It's great. I had to purchase. I had to get like a rental of the Premiere of like the Adobe Creative Suite for one of my classes. So I know how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. I don't like it. I much prefer iMovie. It's so much easier, and I'm sure maybe when I feel like upgrading, I might go to Final Cut Pro because it's just boosted up iMovie, and I know how to use iMovie. I use the same microphone as Hannah does, and I use these Cowboy Studio lights, which are the ones that Hannah uses. Hailey uses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine are Canadian something though.
Oh, okay. I want to use soft boxes eventually, but
I
I
tried
don't know how to
soft
use those.
boxes. I didn't like them as much.
Okay,
I
then I
find
will
the
not do
umbrellas
that.
much better.
They're not worth it.
So much more affordable. I like it a lot better. Unless you have a
Okay.
huge space to work
Yeah.
with,
Nope.
don't. Yeah.
They're
I
too
use a
big and too harsh.
they
That's the
are.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
use
they're
a
much more for
similar
like a studio, and I have a
yes.
small room, so no.
100%. I use a similar microphone to them. I don't remember the name of it, but I just got it recently. But I have all the links for all the stuff that I use in my videos in the description boxes of all of my videos. So you can go and look if you didn't follow what I was saying, but it's all there.
Oh yeah, these umbrella lights were I think $60, and I
Yeah, they're
got them
super cheap.
5 years ago, and they still work. They are kind of falling apart just now because I bring them between university and home so often whenever I want to film a video. So I've lugged them around so much, and they're just now starting to kind of wobble. So a great investment. So great. And then I use a Canon Rebel T3i. It does not have autofocus. That's why sometimes my entire video is out of focus. So that's great. But it still works. It's also like 5 years old. So
If you
it
are going to
does
get a
last.
camera, though, I would suggest getting one that has autofocus. I think you would
Yes.
agree.
Yes.
It's very helpful.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, and then my vlogging camera is a Canon
It's
G7X.
G7X.
We all have that one.
We all have.
We
That's
have
what
the
all
same.
a lot of the booktubers have that.
It's great.
Okay, I will say, if you don't want to get a DSLR, that is a great camera
It's
to
true.
invest in.
It's true.
It's so nice.
Even the
I
audio is
filmed
good.
what?
Mhm.
The audio is good too.
Oh yeah, the audio is fantastic. You don't even need a mic. Like that one is great. So if you
Yeah.
do want to get like a nicer camera, but you don't want to like spend all of the money to get a DSLR, I would recommend that one because
It's honestly better than my DSLR because mine doesn't have autofocus.
Yeah.
So I much more prefer the Canon G7X.
Yeah.
So.
There's a question from Twitter here. It's from Lenny at Lenny Literary, and she asks, do we have any suggestions for filming reading vlogs? She's struggling with the lack of structure. And I would say, honestly, don't worry about it. Like,
Oh yeah.
my reading vlogs are all over the place, but to kind
You
of
even
bring structure, no, hardly ever. Excuse me. I feel personally attacked right now.
Call her out.
God. I've become more of writing vlogs recently.
Mhm.
Well, revising vlogs, but I always have like the date and the day on the bottom, so then you can kind of keep up with like what's happening, and then it does have some structure. But I think the beauty of reading vlogs is that it's a slice of life. It's really like I'm not half of the time wearing makeup. I look like I've been run over by a truck multiple times. Like it backed up and then went over again, and it was fun times for me. So don't worry.
Fine, stop it.
Yeah, literally. Stop. So don't worry about having it like your normal videos. Like I find mine are very different than my normal videos, and it really is just that kind of like slice of life thing, and I think that's what makes it really watchable. Like think of what you like in the vlogs that you watch. Are they kind of all over the place, like just updating you here and there? Just do like little clips every now and again, compile it, and then you have a reading vlog. It's a very easy video to do, really.
Yeah.
Emma from Emma Books just said, I don't understand
girl.
how to film reading vlogs. How much do I film each day? Honestly, my
Such a struggle.
24-hour reading vlogs I film so much. I always have like 3 hours of footage at the end. 24 hours. I filmed 3 hours of that, and I don't even know. So it's a lot of editing. I take out a lot of stuff where I'm just sitting there and rambling because I want to talk to somebody. I'm just very lonely, okay?
What a mood.
But I always put the date and then I put the time because that helps orient you in the video. But honestly, I think it's much more fun when it's random collection of clips.
Yeah.
I mean, don't do a lot of 2-second clips, which are just totally
I
not
should do that
related at all.
Vlog, just 2-second clips of my face. Like
yeah, and you're like in a different place
than
each
there.
time. Don't
Beautiful.
do that. And
Stay
maybe
tuned.
have longer clips where you're in, I don't know, just update frequently enough so you understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Honestly, editing will bring it all together in the end anyway.
Just
Yeah.
update as much as you feel like you want to. You know?
My favorite thing, okay, ever since I started doing reading vlogs, I have not liked filming any other type of video because, I mean, I know I don't have to wear makeup anyway, but like, I don't have to wear makeup. I can look like this and it's fine. And I like the lack of structure. I like the fact that it's so laid back and relaxed that I don't feel like I have to even try half the time. And it's so nice.
It sounds so lazy.
But
I love it.
I love this because I don't have
But it is.
But the thing I like about them is that you can be creative while editing them. And that's what I like. Like I think it was the one where I read 6 books in one day. Is it 6, 5? I don't remember.
6.
But
I remember vividly.
But in that video, I just like wanted to try something different with editing. So I did like little like fun clips with like filters and stuff over it. I added like the date and time and stuff. I added sound effects, stuff I don't do in my other videos. And it was really fun. Yeah. So that's why I like doing vlogs so much. I like the lack of structure because it lets me in editing be more creative, which is like my least favorite part of videos because I hate editing.
Yes.
Yeah. So getting to be creative with it is fun.
It also takes a lot of time, but that's also, I do like the coffee counter and stuff like that, like the caffeine counter. That was just something I decided to do randomly. And that was in the editing process. So, a lot of people are asking, makeup on BookTube. Should they wear makeup? Honestly, if you don't wear makeup in everyday life, don't feel pressured to wear makeup.
Yeah.
I know that there was that recent video that I was talking to Hannah and Hailey about earlier, the one that Read with Cindy did the parody video of, the response video. We'll talk about that another day, I guess. I'm just
basically, if you do wear makeup, don't feel ashamed of the fact that you wear makeup.
If you don't want to wear makeup, just don't wear makeup.
Literally do whatever you want. I don't know why a man feels the need to judge you and make a whole video about it, but some people apparently have nothing to do with their lives.
Well, it's a second, or maybe it's more than that.
It is.
Several men.
How do you have that much free time?
I mean, it wasn't, the entire video wasn't about it, but it was kind of about it.
That was the key point.
It was him being like, I'm not like the girls on BookTube. Ha 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 ha. But anyway.
Okay, what I will say is that I am a person who does not wear makeup in everyday life. I don't like wearing makeup. It's not like comfortable for me and it just irritates me. But I do like wearing makeup for fun because I just think it's fun to put on sometimes. But I will say, like, I feel pressured to wear makeup in my videos, not because of other people, but like as a societal pressure that in the same way that I feel like pressured to wear makeup when I go out in general too. Like, it's not just like a YouTube specific thing. It's like a life specific thing, I think, for a lot of girls or a lot of people who wear makeup. And I don't know. So yes, there is kind of that pressure, but like, you can take it off too. Like, vlogs have helped me with that so much. Like, I don't feel like I have to wear makeup in all of my videos anymore. And it's really, really nice. So like, just do whatever you like. Like, if you like wearing makeup that day, put it on, live your life. If you don't do it. Just do whatever you like. Whatever you like. I'm
not wearing makeup right now.
I'm not wearing makeup right now. I haven't worn makeup in any of these live shows because I don't care enough to.
Wow.
I've had skin problems since I hit puberty, or maybe for like my entire life. So I've always felt pressure. I've pressured myself to wear makeup because I just like how I look with makeup. I'm not like a really big fan of my skin, but that's a personal problem. It's not, there's not a like there's not a board of directors of BookTube who are like, wow, you will be penalized if you do not wear makeup. But honestly, it's what you prefer. If I prefer how I look in videos when I wear makeup, but if it doesn't make you comfortable, if you're uncomfortable wearing makeup, you don't have to wear makeup. And I don't think anyone will judge you if you're doing something that makes you comfortable.
No.
And if they are, that's their problem.
Yeah, and believe me, the community will come for them.
Yes.
I will fight.
We will come for them.
Prove that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Your comfort is the main important thing, really. Yes. Like, I don't like the way that I look without makeup, so I wear makeup in my like big light videos because, or else I'm seeing like all of the imperfections that I just don't want to put on the internet. It's just, I mean, it's like how you wouldn't post a picture of yourself when you just woke up in the morning. Like,
well, what I was going to say is that sometimes like the reason I do wear makeup in most of my videos is because I think of them like photographs. Like, I'm always going to go back and watch them, and I like to look like really nice when I like go back and watch them. So that's why I wear it sometimes, because it just, I like being able to go back and look at like, oh, my makeup looked really good in that video. Like, it's just nice. But like, I don't feel like I have to do it, otherwise I can't film.
That's what's fun.
Yeah. It's
I
fun.
like it. I like lipstick. Okay.
I love lipstick. Also, it is 5 actually. 43.
7:43.
7:43. Okay.
It's Florida time.
So we've gone over, but do
If
you
you
want
have
to
any
take one more
last
question?
questions, yeah, if you have any more questions, I think maybe we'll take 2 because
2 more.
Yeah.
we're just
Okay.
ending it kind of abruptly. But if you have any last questions, Twitter, #bookmarked, or on the chat, we will
Yeah.
look in places.
Yes.
We also, I'll mention it now since you guys are putting in questions, but we made an official Twitter page for Bookmarked just since we're going to be like jumping around to different channels. I thought it would be helpful for us to have it like all in one place where we're going to be, what the next topic is, and everything. So the Twitter page is at Bookmarked Club. And we'll all be retweeting it and everything so you guys can see it. I've already retweeted it. You'll see it basically. There's also stuff under the hashtag of Bookmarked at Bookmarked Club. So that's just a Twitter that you can follow to like keep up with what we're doing with the live shows and everything, what the next topic is going to be like in the future when we have special guests and stuff. And that will also be a good place for you to get in your questions. So for anyone who can't tune in live, we want to still include like international viewers who we understand that this is a late time, but unfortunately it's the only time that will really work for us. We're all in different time zones and everything. So we still want you guys to be able to get in your questions. So you can tweet us there with any questions that you have for the upcoming topic. And it's basically just a place where you can get bookmarked like in one spot. That was my spiel.
I think you did very well.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Okay, dokie.
I'm looking through the chat for questions.
I'll do Jeopardy music while you guys are looking.
You know Sims music is royalty free, so we could technically play
I've seen
Sims
it.
music.
Oh my God, please.
Oh my God, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's gonna be our background music from now on.
Yeah, but then I'll be like triggered to go on to Sims and I'll be like, must check on them. And I haven't played in a month.
I haven't
This is
played
such a big
since
thing.
before summer because I couldn't play when I was in. I know it's
Ugh.
the longest I've gone without it, and
Wow.
I'm having
Punch struggles. I'm so proud of myself.
Anyway, Aspasia Shepherd asked on the chat, "How do you come up with video ideas?" And that is something I have a notes, like a notes folder on my phone where
So do I.
sometimes it's usually when I'm falling asleep or when I'm in the shower or when I'm walking to class or when I'm bored in class. Anytime there will be random video ideas that come to me. Maybe I'm having a conversation with a friend and that'll spark an idea for a video. So I have a lot of video.
Hello, everyone.
I have
Under
a
the light.
Yeah, I have an idea. But I have a lot of video ideas, and because I don't post consistently, I have a lot of them that I have not made yet. But they will come to you. You will have random conversations that will spark ideas, or maybe you'll watch someone's video and that'll want you to make a response video, or it'll come to you when it comes to you.
Yeah. I also have a notes thing on my phone that's just like an endless list of like 2+ years of video ideas that I still haven't made. And they're just like all in a checklist. Whenever I make them, I like cross them off. And I also have, it's not right here, but I have like a journal too that has like my video ideas, and sometimes I like plan them out in there. So yeah, it's like the same thing with you, Zoe. Like for me, it's right before I go to bed, or like if I'm in the shower, because
the shower is such an inspirational place.
Yeah. They just like come to me and I just like write them down and then never make them.
I'll literally, I'll sit down one day and I'll be like, okay, like I need to come up with some ideas, and then I'll just jot down whatever comes to me. So I'm
you
constantly
like force it. You like force the inspiration to come.
Yeah. Or else I'll make the same content all the time. But talking about new video ideas, if you had a new idea and then you see someone else did that idea, don't be discouraged by that. Like that doesn't mean that you can't still do it, because Emma Books did, and I loved it.
She's here. Hi.
Hello, Emma. When she did the YA characters for a week, I had that idea and I was going to do it. I could not do it nearly as well as she did though. But like, don't think that just because someone else did something that you can't still do it. Like, I think you won't get hate as long as you say like, this person also did this video.
And if
obviously.
you make it your own.
Like it happens. Exactly. Yeah.
If you don't just blatantly copy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Those things happen, and that's nothing. I think a big thing with BookTube and YouTube and life in general is that someone thinks that someone else's success means that they are a failure. And that's not the case. Like, someone having more subscribers than you doesn't mean that you are a crappy booktuber, doesn't mean that you are not valid. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that that person is a little bit further ahead of you. And chances are they've been doing it a lot longer than you. And sometimes they haven't. Yeah, exactly. It honestly, so much of it is luck, but don't feel like it's this me versus them with big and small YouTubers. I think that it's important to see that it's not that sort of thing. Like, I can't stress enough that someone being successful doesn't mean that you're a failure. It doesn't mean that you can't do it too, which I feel like is something we're going to talk about this in another episode.
Oh, I love this conversation. Okay.
With booktuber books, just because a booktuber has published a book doesn't mean that you still can't publish a book. Like, that's a life tip there. If someone else gets something that you want to do, doesn't mean that you can't do it. That's
love that. Applause. But also, I feel like on YouTube, no one's winning YouTube.
Exactly. It's
Everyone
not a
can
competition.
have the same amount of subscribers. Just because someone gains a subscriber doesn't mean you've lost one.
Yeah.
So why not promote everybody? Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
What a concept.
Have a healthy, supportive community where we're all trying to boost each other up and giving everybody a little bit of extra help. Make friends.
Yeah.
Have fun. This isn't a competition. This is a community of readers where we're all trying to have fun and we're all trying to make friends because we're lonely.
Yes, honestly. Also, I feel like we should talk about like sponsorships and money on BookTube for a second.
Yes, that can be our last question.
Yeah, that can be our last.
I feel like that's something to talk about. So personally, my view of sponsorships is obviously I do them. And that's because this channel has become so much more for me than I expected. And I'll be blatantly honest with you. It's become a career for me. It's become something that if I didn't have this income, it would be like me getting fired from a job. So sponsorships are important. But that being said, I get so many emails in a day that are like, sponsor me with this random thing, like electronic toothbrush, blah, blah, blah.
Do you want to let's bring up.
Honestly,
oh, yeah. I want to read some of my most recent ones.
The amount that we get.
There's such random products that want to sponsor us that make no sense.
Yeah. So I only agree to do sponsorships if it is something that I truly enjoy. And I think that is true. I know that's true for all of the booktubers that I know. It's like, you're not going to just pick something because you're going to get money from it. You pick it because it's on brand, because you guys can see through us. Like, this is honestly a community that is 100% built on honesty. You are trusting us to give you our honest opinion of the books that we read. So if we're just taking money from everyone and just doing sponsorships to do sponsorships, then where's the credibility in the community? And if there's no credibility, the community is honestly broken, in my opinion. So I don't think there's anything wrong with doing sponsorships, because I know a lot of booktubers, this is a career for us. And that's just kind of the way that it has happened. I never expected it to be like that. That is definitely not why I started this. If I wanted to make money, I would have gone into gaming or something like that. Way more there, or like beauty guru.
Yeah, we would have stuck with our failing channels.
Exactly. Yeah. So don't think that because a YouTuber that you're watching is doing a sponsorship, that automatically they've lost credibility, because I know that everyone that I have talked to and myself, we only do the ones that we truly trust and truly believe in. So that's my spiel on all of that. So many soapbox moments.
Yes, for an example, I just yesterday I got an email from a toothbrush company who wanted to sponsor me.
Amazing.
How does that? They're like, wow, we really like your content. And they're very obvious, like copy and paste emails, because they're like, wow, you make great content on your channel.
They never even say your name.
Right? Say hi, Zoe. It's just, you make good content. Do you want this toothbrush? We will give you money.
I've gotten ones that are honestly for different YouTubers. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
I've gotten ones for Sasha. Like,
I've gotten ones for Bregan. I'm like, you gotta drop the ball there.
I got one yesterday from an app that's basically like where you make like shout outs to your fans, because apparently my fans have been on
I got that too.
Yep. Yeah. And I was like, sure. A ton of people have come to your app asking for me personally to give them a shout out so you can pay me.
So funny.
I was like, okay.
And like paying to get a shout out, that's very strange.
It's so
I am very hesitant about sponsorships. I know it's we get so many random sponsorships, and I delete a lot of them right away from my email.
Yeah.
But I am very sensitive about I want my channel to seem genuine, and that's something that I very much try to always strive for, and that's also like the booktubers that I watch, I always try to find like the genuine people. So Hailey and Hannah, one of them is
Sup?
genuine.
Oh, which one?
No, they're both great, but I love to surround myself with like genuine people, and like I want my channel to be a reflection of who I am as a person. So I would feel so strange talking about a product that I don't personally enjoy, or at least it doesn't somehow connect to my channel. So that's why all of my sponsorships have been book related, and I don't try to create videos where I am pitching a specific product. It's just tangentially related to it. So it'll be like a book that I hauled at the beginning of a book haul or something like that. So it's something that I'm kind of dealing with because I am a student. I have a lot of student loans. So this is helping me pay for some of my student loans, but it's definitely something that's more of a passion project and something that is more of a community than a career for me.
Yeah.
More
I
of a
feel
place
like
to, like, call
honestly,
home than, a job.
I feel like anyone is lying if you say that you wouldn't be doing something that you love, and if you could make money off of it, that you wouldn't try to. Like, even if you donate it, like, whatever, like, I can do something that I love and also use it as a career and as something in the future, then yeah, I'm gonna do it. It doesn't make me any less genuine. I mean, I feel like if you watch my videos, you know that I kind of lay it all out as it is. I have nothing to hide or anything like that. I'm an open book, but thank you. Good pun. Totally intended.
Queen of puns.
Thank you. Honestly, I will take that title and I will wear it proud. But that was my spiel.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel exactly the same way too. Like, I don't have any problem with them. Obviously, I also do them, but I am extremely selective with the ones that I do because, like we said, we get a lot of emails from such random companies that want to sponsor us for things that are so irrelevant. And it's like obvious to me that you've never even seen a single one of my videos. And why would I take that? Like, I'm not even going to get anything out of it. The effort that I have to put in.
Do you not want your fans to shout you out while you brush your teeth?
Beautiful.
But like, why would I take that sponsorship? Because honestly, like, for anyone who doesn't make videos, making videos takes so much effort and energy. Like, it's so much work. And sometimes like what certain like companies want to offer you and how much like they want you to talk about their product in your videos is not worth it. Like, it's not worth it for me to put that much time and effort into it, especially for what they want to pay me for it. And like, I'm not going to do that. Like, it's just not worth it. I'm not going to get anything out of it. I don't think it's going to be relevant to my audience at all. I don't think it's going to help their company. Like, there's no point in doing something like that. So like, I'm only going to take the ones that for me, like, I basically only do sponsorships that are related to like books because that's what I talk about. And those are the ones that I think are going to be most beneficial to my audience. Like, and I only will take the ones too that like I'm actually interested in. Like, I get a lot of emails about like this steamy romance novel. I'm like, I don't really read steamy romance novels, so I'm not going to like take that sponsorship, But yeah.
Well, BookTube is all about trust.
Yeah.
Because we're reviewers. So we want you to trust our opinion since that's kind of what we're doing here. So if we're talking up books that we haven't read or ones that we have read but didn't like but are saying that we liked, that's also something that I think is a problem. So
but I feel like you would know if we did that. You know what I mean?
If I had like
you know what I
erotica
like to
or
read.
something and I'm like, wow, this changed my life, ladies.
Like, you know what I like to read. And like, let's say I get a sponsorship for a book that's like pitched, that's like, it's the next Throne of Glass. And I'm standing here telling you that I think this is a great book and I'm going to love it.
Throne of Glass?
You're going to know that I'm lying to you. Why would I do that?
Oh, I think for newer booktubers, the thing to kind of take away from this is know your worth
Yeah.
100%, because you will be lowballed by anyone, even credible people who offer you sponsorships. You will 100% have to fight for yourself. So know your worth.
That's something that I've struggled with.
Yeah, it's
Me
something
too.
that all three of us have struggled with.
We've learned a lot.
We have. And for me, it was only recently. So fun times. But number 2 is to be conscious of what you're agreeing to. Do your research on whatever it is that is going to sponsor you, because you're going to have a lot of people reaching out and being like, they're not really, I can't think of the word, I guess credible, but I've said credible like a million times.
Legitimate.
Yeah, thank you. Synonyms. Thank you for being my thesaurus. So keep in mind that you want to only agree to legitimate companies, and you can 100% tell when someone is not a legitimate company. So do your research, keep on brand, know your worth, but it's fine to take a sponsorship. Don't feel like you're being shady, because you're not. Like, you're making a living. If you knew how much time I spent on videos, I guess you do because you watch my reading vlogs and stuff, or
A
if you
lot
do.
of
I
time.
spend so much time, like days that I'm filming, that's the entire day gone. I have a job and I'm writing a book. So like I'm doing a lot of stuff, and
You have
being
like
able,
2.5 jobs, like
yes.
2.5 full-time jobs. You have a
Yeah.
part-time job, and then you have 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah.
BookTube, if it can be a part-time, it's how much time you put into
Yeah.
it, but it
Yeah.
can be a
It's
full-time
totally
job.
up to you.
Yeah.
But I think taking those sponsorships gives me the time to launch my author career, honestly. It gives me the time to be able to focus on writing because I can work from home. So don't be ashamed of doing that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So to sum it up, take only the sponsorships that mean something to you,
Yeah.
that both parties will be benefited. So something that you want to do a video on, and also that you get paid to do. Don't I mean, if you want to, but definitely don't feel like you have to take every single book for review, because that's something I did at the beginning of
No.
my BookTube channel. Is every time I was so excited for someone to reach out to me to have me review their book that I took so many at one time, couldn't actually find time to read all of them, but also a lot of them weren't paying, and I spent so much time doing videos on it and all of that. So definitely know your worth, do something that will benefit both parties, and again, just do what makes you comfortable. That is the whole moral of this story, of this video, is only do what brings you joy. This should be a source of enjoyment, something that makes you happy. So if you don't feel comfortable about wearing makeup or, spending a lot of money on books or anything like that, you don't have to. And it's your channel, it's your space. Make it your own and have fun.
The chat is going wild right now with toothbrushes.
Oh my gosh.
Guys,
I
Someone-
saw that toothbrush
People-
book tag.
Yes.
I mean, I'll reach out to them right now.
Yeah, go right
Do
now.
it.
Punch that email. Oh my God. Fueled by Fiction put Brushed by Zoe, Hailey and Brushland, and a Clockwork Brusher.
Oh my
So
god.
done. Iconic.
Sponsored by this random, kind of sketchy toothbrush.
Yeah. Oh my God. Amazing.
I think that's
Yeah.
about sums it
Yeah.
up. Thank you
Yeah.
for thank you to everybody who came and watched us. I'm sorry, I'm doing the wrap up. It's your channel. Hannah, go ahead. Sorry.
God, Zoe.
I'm sorry. I totally forgot where I was right now.
Okay.
If you guys would want another video on this topic, because we're definitely not married to doing like one video per topic, let us know, because it's definitely something that we can revisit, because obviously this is another one where we have a lot to say about it. Maybe
Yeah.
we just talk a lot.
We have a huge Google Doc filled with video ideas, live show
Yes.
ideas, and
Yeah.
one is BookTube on a budget, which I talked about earlier. So that definitely will happen in the nearish future, and I want to have a guest on for that one.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
okay.
Okay. So I think that's where we're gonna end this. We went like half an hour over, but that's okay.
I was very excited.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Haley
But
had a
thank you
lot
all.
of things to say.
I'm sorry. I just got on the soapbox and I couldn't get off.
But thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for all of your questions and for just being here with us and like supporting us in starting this like little book club. Oh, we have to shout out.
A BookTube shout out,
Yeah.
a BookTuber shout out. I mentioned her earlier, Cindy from Read with Cindy. Oh my gosh, new favorite BookTuber. She has a video on the fact that she only owns, I think, 4 books and about consumerism on BookTube, which is another topic that I really want to talk about in an upcoming live show. And she also did the response to that cretin past video.
Amazing.
She's amazing, and I'm really, really enjoying. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so many toothbrush comments. Okay.
So many toothbrush comments.
I will leave her channel linked in the description of this video.
Also our Twitter page.
Yes, and her Twitter. So you can go and follow her because her videos are fantastic. So yeah, highly recommend.
Week, the live show will be on my channel, which is Read by Zoe. Go subscribe.
Subscribe to both Hailey and Zoe. And if you're here and not subscribed to me, I'd be confused.
And unsubscribe from Hannah.
Yeah, unsubscribe from me. Thank you.
So
we're going to be talking about YouTuber books, and specifically books written by booktubers, and both sides of the argument. I definitely want to have a more in-depth discussion about that. I want to trash Hailey.
Trash Book of Sisters. Shred it. It's done.
A very nuanced conversation.
I'm really excited.
I think we need to delve more into, because there definitely are several sides to the whole story.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions about that, feel free to tweet us throughout like the week with the hashtag on Twitter, bookmarked. So you can do that. But if you want to wait on your questions for the chat, you can always do that too. But yeah, so thank you all so much for joining us for this live video. It was so nice getting to chat with all of you, and we will see you next week. Bye.